10 times better.
Yeah. There we go.
This thing is stupid.
That looks much better. A little dirt behind there, but it is new. We are at our apartment in the garage, which is a study 50 degrees. And we are about to work on the Jeep a little bit. We want to put down, there's a little bit of rust under the floor mats in the front, and we want to try to scrape up as much of that as we can, and then put down like a bed liner, rust preventer in the floorboard. So we've got, right now, we bought these floor mats off Amazon because there was carpet here, but it wasn't, well, you can see. So the carpet isn't attached whatsoever. So we're gonna be pulling all of this out and seeing how we like the bed liner spray paint that we bought. It's, I think it's Rust-Oleum. So I'm gonna give this a try. We also just tried to put the top down for the first time to get some better light. You can see it's kind of dark in here, and we don't have internet down here, so we're gonna have to do some Googling and get on YouTube and figure out how the heck we're supposed to be doing this. So I don't think that's right. We just made it work for now, but it's definitely something we have to look up. So what are you doing first?
I'm gonna try to take the seat out first. See how it goes. They're a little rusty.
You have to climb in through the back.
Oh, here we go. Well. so I just got this last bolt out. So the seat's ready to be pulled. However, while I was taking this bolt out, I popped it off of the bolt head. So not going to be fun to fix, but let me show you. You can see the bolt head and the washer just popped off in my hand. So again, not great, and it's something else to add to the list that we got to fix. But on the other hand, if you were in a car accident, that definitely would have popped off. So I guess good find, but it's more work in the end.
Yeah.
So I'll just drill this out. We'll get some better hardware to go through it and replace it, and it'll be better than we found it. So here's where that bolt was right here. You can see the rest of the shank sticking through. The jack was mounted right here. It looked like it had never been moved. I got like a little drain hole here that needs some work. Not bad though, everything looks pretty solid. So we're gonna clean this up and start the rust removal. And then from there we can recoat it and be good to go. Do we have a vacuum?
The shop vac is at the RV.
Yeah. Also just took a big tote of my tools to the RV too. Like literally last night.
Last night.
Literally last night.
Oh no.
Yeah. Alright.
And it's a no travel day because
Everything's frozen.
we have freezing rain today.
Yep.
And they're expecting like a 1/4 inch of ice out there, so it's a no driving day.
Yeah. We're gonna make do. Should we go upstairs into the vacuum? The regular vacuum?
See that we have much other choice.
Well, it's either that or let the room bump around in here, so.
I don't think that's gonna work.
Alright.
Alright, I've been working on this. I have this scrubby, and then I just started using this brush. And it's going a little better. And I'm working on these spots down here. Josh just got back. Okay. This is making like really quick work. I was using this for a while and I was making a whole bunch of dirt, so I think it was working, but this thing I'm like instantly seeing underneath the rest, so this is working really well.
So I looked underneath the Jeep. The bolt is still welded to the frame. Everything down there looks like it's still in good shape. It was just the actual bolt itself. So what I'm going to do is take a center punch and punch a hole right in the middle of where it broke off. And the center punch hole should help the drill go straight through and hopefully not mess anything else up. So I'm just going to clean out the bolt and everything, and then we'll get a new bolt to go right through it. Right through the frame, so it should be good to go.
So he just drilled it out, and you see that shiny part is gone, but there's still a shiny piece at the bottom. So you said that that'll let the new bolt.
Yeah, so what you're looking at right now is the old bolt. So the old bolt is still attached to the bottom portion of the frame. So when I put the new hardware through, the old bolt will still have a lot of area for pressure on the frame.
Because the old one was welded to the bottom? Is that what you said?
Yeah, the old bolt, all of these bolts are welded to the frame itself. So you don't have to have like a wrench and a socket at the same time to tighten everything down. So with the old bolt still there, you still have that solid weld to the frame itself, and the new hardware will just put pressure onto that whole assembly. The whole assembly.
Found another hole. Like one that's got one of those covers on it. Good Lord. How many holes are in this Jeep? Here, point out what the others are on the back bumper.
We're gonna clean these off and put them back and bedline over.
I think a 20-year-old Jeep and a 100-year-old house are like the same. You're like, every time you do a project, you just wonder what the last people were doing.
But you do have to admit that if you take a wall off, you're not going to find razor blades in it.
I hope you don't find razor blades in your Jeep.
I don't know, it did have a very angry face when we bought it.
This is the equivalent of sanding anti-fouling paint off the bottom of a boat. I always watch people do that on YouTube and I'm like, man, I'm glad this is a time lapse over the course of 2 weeks because this seems really tedious and I would hate to have to do this. And yet, here I am. Hopefully you can see we've made some pretty good progress. Josh is getting some water right now so we can rinse this out. We've been scrubbing and scrubbing with the metal brushes for quite a while. So we found a couple spots that we'll need to probably do a little more on, but I think we're just about ready to put down a coat of bed liner and just, I mean, this is, most of it's surface now, and we'll see how that goes. Looked for navy bed liner. Oh, do you want to show us what product it is? Can you come over here?
Yeah, so this is the Rust-Oleum truck bed coating. It says it's textured, non-skid surface, and we read on there that it stops rust. So it should be exactly what we needed.
Ooh, I gotta go to the other side. Alright, so you can tell that our garage is pretty dark and the lights are on a like a timer, and then they're motion activated, so the lights keep turning off. So you see how dark it is. And we're in this little corner and there's no lights over here. So we took the top down to let as much light in as we could. And then we have our little selfie camera. I got this for Christmas. It's the greatest thing ever. We're using this as a light even when we're not filming. And then we have this Old Faithful like $5 fluorescent plug-in light that we've had since, I don't know, Josh, what, 10 years? We got this
like
when
first time we ever been camping.
Yeah, first time we ever went camping in like Louisiana, I think. Yeah. And we've dropped it like 5 times in the last week. You see, it's like, you're not gonna be able to tell, but it's broken up in here because we keep dropping it on concrete and it's cracked, but it's working pretty well. And then Josh just changed out the dome light for an LED. We had some extras from the RV.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yep.
And they just happened to be the same?
Yeah, it's just automotive LEDs.
Yeah.
So
that's how we're getting light to see what we're doing. And then we just sprayed a first coat. So it's looking pretty good. It's drying up. And then we've got there were patches over these holes, so we're gonna put those back. Except for this one, because we do have one rubber drain plug, so we'll put it there. And then we'll leave this back one open until we can get another drain plug as well. So, not bad for a first coat. I mean, it's gonna be under floor mats and under the seat, but we don't want it just continuing to rust away. So, little stop rust Rust-Oleum should do the trick. All right, that's the second coat just went on. Still very wet. We're gonna leave that to dry for an hour, and then we'll come back and see what we can do about putting the seat back in. And then tomorrow, when it's safe to go out again, we'll have to run to Lowe's. This took a whole can, so 2 coats in this spot took a whole can, and we'll go get more now that if we decide we like it, we'll go get more, and then we'll do the rest at some point. But this was our proof of concept. I think this is gonna work. looking good. Go for it. Installed.
That should do it.
So this is broken. It came to us that way. It's missing the whole side that's supposed to wrap around, but it's okay. We found one online. So Josh is about to put this one on.
I pulled out the carpet on the driver's side to do the driver's floorboard and the driver's side back seat, and it had the same plugs in it like it was on the passenger side, but it looks like one of these is pretty bad. So we're gonna clean it up and see how big it gets, and then we'll have to find some material to go over it. This is what happens when you seal drain holes.
Yeah, they're there for a reason. Josh doesn't want to talk right now because I think he's really mad. I think he's really mad and he's laughing to not cry right now. But that is, you can see the hole is getting bigger. The hole that was under the driver's seat. You took, what, you had like a, what was it called?
I took a metal file. I was kind of doing around the edges just to get down to reliable metal.
And
so
it just got bigger and bigger.
Yeah, we'll have to take a piece of sheet metal and cover it, and then we'll either screw or rivet it in place.
Fun times. Always an adventure.
Always an adventure.
Okay, this was supposed to be a simple day. We were just gonna repeat what we did yesterday on the passenger side, but on the driver's side. So we went to Lowe's this morning and got the hardware for the seat that we messed up yesterday. So we came in and did that. And then we pulled the driver's seat, and it is so much worse than the passenger side. We had no idea we were starting with the easy side. So while Josh was working on that, I started working on the back, because we're just gonna do just kind of a thin layer on the back. It's got a nice mat, and the carpet for the back is actually really good. So we intend to just put that back down, but we wanted to go ahead and spray a coat, just like we're doing with the whole rest of the Jeep. And I realized that somebody had, at some point, I guess, sprayed it with, it seems to be like maybe the cheapest version of like dollar store spray paint, or maybe it's like Crayola paint. I have no idea, but it was coming off with just household cleaner and a paper towel. I was actually just cleaning the surface, and I was gonna start taping when it started coming off, and I just opened a can of worms, and now I'll show you what I'm working on. All right, so over here on the left, so this is what the whole back looked like pretty much when we opened it up. So you could see there's some rust spots that they've painted over at some point. So I had just been kind of lightly scrubbing that to get it off. You can see it was coming off pretty well. Pulled up, there were plugs back here. One of them's kind of yucky and one of them was pretty much fine. But you can see that it's not blue over here. Like, you can see there's something going on. There's something black on top of it. And I was prepared to just paint over that until it started just coming off with the paper towel. So I had this test spot right in the middle is what came off with the paper towel, and I started seeing blue under it and went, oh man. So here are the 3, I'm just doing these in the sections, and here's the 3 sections I've worked on so far. And you can tell there's like some of that black stuff left. I mean, maybe it was just really old spray paint, or I really have no idea. It's coming off pretty easily. These parts back here are a little more stuck on than I mean, I literally went over those with a sponge and that black stuff came off. So, oh boy, I've got this much more to go. So, like I said, can of worms. All right, well, I was never going to get all of that paint off, but I got most of it off, and at least now we kind of know what we're working with, and I think the next layer has a much better chance of sticking. The way that was rubbing off before, I don't think our paint was going to stick, so I'll show you what it looks like. There it is. It is now blue instead of black. So you can see this is what the paint looked like when it was new, I guess, and then you know, 20 plus years of whatever. But yeah, at least it's blue and not covered in that cheap chalky paint, or maybe just old disintegrated paint anymore. Thanks for sticking with us to the end. Next week, we're going to show you how we installed the brake buddy and the tow bar to get our Jeep fully ready to tow behind our RV.